All right, guys, this section we're going to talk about repair cost and holding costs. So we talked about ARV before. So once you have your ARV set, okay, then you're going to need to determine your repair cost and your holding costs. So we're going to start with the repair cost. So repair costs are how much it's going to cost you to fix the property the way you want it. How do you determine that? Well, there's a couple of different ways. So you can hire a general contractor, okay? The general contractor is going to be able to tell you, come in and give you a quote based on what you're wanting to do. Now, I definitely recommend from the ARV, you got some comparables. Take those comparables and see what everybody else is doing. I am always under the impression that the better off you do the rehab, the better off you're going to be on the ARV. So I usually like to beat the comps just a little bit in the quality that they have used. So once you determine your repair cost from the contractor, or the other way that you can determine your repair cost is have a subcontractor or specific people for specific items come quote each individual item. For instance, if you have an HVAC, you're going to have an HVAC company come quote just that. Roofing company, just the roofing company. You put all that together, that's going to be your repair cost. Those are the two ways that we recommend to do the repair cost. So you have that repair cost. From our example before, remember again, bought the property for $100,000 and our repair cost was $40,000. So that repair cost could be all kinds of different things, but that is what we ended up doing to be able to evaluate the deal. So the only other thing that a lot of people leave out in determining whether the deal is good or not is called holding costs, okay? And holding costs are how much money it costs you to keep the project, okay? So we're gonna go back to our 123 Main Street. So there's $140,000 that we have, and we're going to take 4 months to do that project, okay? The holding cost is how much monthly the money is costing you. Now we'll get into different types of money in the funding section, but the holding cost has to be calculated because you could end up with a $20,000 check at the end of the property, at the end of the deal, and you may have not made any money because you didn't associate your closing cost and your holding cost correctly. So normally a holding cost could be between 15 to 8% of the overall value. So you definitely want to keep that in there. Now, the only other thing that is associated with holding cost is your closing cost to purchase the property. So closing cost is normally about 2 to 2.5%. You also want to make sure that you put that into your calculations when you're finding out if it's a deal or not. So as a wrap up, your ARV you have, your rehab cost you have, your holding cost you have, and your closing cost you have. Now you can 100% determine if this is the right deal for you.